Hi, everybody. This is Lori. Um, a lady online a couple days ago was saying that she was from Vancouver, Washington, and she was saying that it looked to her like the sun was rising in the south um, and setting in the north. And I don't know what direction her house was facing. Like, I don't know. But I did notice. I lived in recently in Vancouver, Washington. Um, for a couple years, and well, and Hoquiam, Aberdeen area for a couple months a year ago, and then also part of the summer. And I did notice that the sun seemed to be setting from like east southeast. Sorry, rising. That would have been quirky, right? No, rising from east southeast and setting, um, west northwest. So that is something I did notice, but it was certainly wasn't what that I could tell what she said. I don't want to negate anybody. Um, Also, you might get pictures of two suns, and that was more true setting, or even just 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There they are. And of course, I don't look directly at the sun. You shouldn't ever do that. I would do that with pictures. Now, if it's a setting sun, you can kind of look at the sunset without looking right at the big sun, but to the uh, southeast of the first setting sun is another sun that you can now see with your naked eye. Um, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, a few years ago, and I think this was in the winter time, and the sun set when it should set, and then a minute later, the living room lit up, and our living room was facing south. It lit up orange, like burnt orange, and and the other people in the room looked at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I told you." And I've been taking these weird pictures for a few years now. But what I noticed too, and I again someone else mentioned it online, and I thought, yeah, that's happening. That's been happening. Some of the places I've lived, in several places. Most noticeably in East Vancouver, Washington. Um, I had like a basement apartment almost 2 years that I rented, and it had a wood stove and a bathroom and a bedroom. It was nice. And it was like a split level house, so it wasn't like a real deep in the ground, but it was a couple feet extra in the ground. And I'd be laying in bed, and of course, it was an old frame and an old box spring and mattress. But you'd lay there, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, you'd get this feeling, and the bed would move like an earthquake. But yet, when you look the next day, there's no announcement of an earthquake or anything like that. But you'd get this feeling of like if you were laying on plywood and somebody had a rope tied through two holes in the front and was pulling you along the ground or along concrete. That's a better example. Then you'd feel this bumpiness. So it didn't feel like, just you're sitting in one spot and like an earthquake would feel. It felt more like you're being drug along concrete on a piece of plywood. So that it, and with this pole shift, we're supposed to have some crustal movement. Well, I think that's already happening because it's been a while, and I've been experiencing that feeling of being drug across the ground a ways. Um, and now the only reason I shouldn't ever say the only reason I'm bringing it up is because someone else did, but you know, you kind of ignore stuff. You know, when weird stuff happens, you go, oh well, I'm sure there's an explanation. You kind of fob it off, and plus, how many people are talking about it, right? So that's lonely. But yeah, that's a thing. That's now it may depend on where you're sitting or where you're standing. Right now, I'm in the far southeast of the U.S. in Florida because that was as far away as I could get. No, just kidding. No, I love my family and I miss Washington and um, I was just playing. But yeah, no, this stuff's real, and before I saw stuff with the naked eye, but I discovered that the crappiest cell phone camera in the whole world or an old SE iPhone will take magnificent pictures. And I discovered that first in Vancouver. We had that eclipse in 17, and, we had a little eclipse party. My granddaughter was still a kid and everything. And so she had a friend come, and I had somebody, and we had a balcony up on the hill in Hearthwood at the condo. And I got magnificent. I got an eclipse selfie that like nobody else has one. I swear that should be $1 million picture. And if anybody wants to give me $1 million for that picture, I'm willing to pretend that I didn't even take that picture. Just grow your hair out and then get it thinned up gray. We'll say it's you. But anyway, so yeah, I was. They sent everybody to Madras with their Nikon and their suitcases full of really great camera equipment. Then they told them to stick a filter over that, and you can't see anything once you do that. That's a joke. So it's kind of like, yeah, go to Madras. That's the perfect spot. No, it wasn't the perfect spot. Vancouver was the perfect spot. And then handful of people took crappy pictures from there with their, you know, I'm sure the news stations and the weather guys, there's pictures out there somewhere. Yes, there are. Not as good as mine, no. Kind of mad about that. But so yeah, I've noticed movement of the ground, but not in a typical earthquake kind of way, and that was the Pacific Northwest mostly. Down here, I just got great pictures of what looked like an ocean in the sky, and the sun partly eclipsed by that in one picture. The next picture, it's out of the ocean. I mean, it looks in the picture like a body of water. And then I got a picture of a blue planet a couple of times. And in Hoquiam, it appeared to be clear or clear green blue. That was freaky. And that's on my Facebook. So you have to scroll through some bad jokes and beautiful grandchildren. But if you want to find it on there, it's on there. Just give me credit. If you steal my shit, at least say taken by and put my name under it unless you have $1 million. Just to be a nice person. But so yeah, just to validate, I don't even know where I saw now, but this was at least a week ago. Some lady was saying, it feels like I'm drug along the ground. Yeah, that's what it does feel like. And if you're in a basement or a downstairs, if you're in the right spot and you have a downstairs room and a sensitive bed and you're just laying there, there's no movement, and then you don't know what woke you up, but then all of a sudden you feel like you're being drug along the ground. And then after a few minutes, you get up, you walk around, you turn a light on, you look around, and everything looks normal. But yeah, now you're telling me it looks like the sun is setting in the south, or I just did it again, didn't I? Rising in the south and setting in the north. Well, it's really east southeast and west northwest. on that. But yeah, there is a change here. Not really, just the thing of we tend to live in a house that faces south, so we get pretty much the same effect. After the sun sets, it might be a little orangey in the living room. But yeah, so there's. I'm sure. Um, I'm sure they won't like. I'm sure they'll put someone in office who will man up or woman up and just start talking to us like we're adults or respect us as human beings and not have us standing there with our eclipse pictures going, what the hell is that? Or people muttering out of nowhere, they just blurt it out that it feels like they're being drug along the ground. And then nobody says anything. I didn't even say anything at the time, but it kind of ate away at me. I felt bad. I felt like I was doing to her what I feel like people are doing to me, and I think we should be more open about it because I don't know. I mean, there's more I could say. That's all I'm going to say right now. I just want to validate whoever you are that you opened up and talked about your experience and apologize that I didn't say anything right away. But it's a beautiful, beautiful day today. I was so freaked out. I saw a giant cricket. That thing was like, I think it was a cricket, but it had a swivel head. I don't know. It was green and it can fly. So it's possible we're getting outer space insects, but I think Florida just feels that way. But yeah, I just felt like I was being looked at. And then I look over at the door over there and there's this, like antennas and right there. And I was like, what the heck is that? And then the cat wanted in. I'm like, I don't know. You might have to stay out a while. And I went over there and I'm like, well, I'm just going to open the door a little bit and you're just going to stay where you're at and nobody gets hurt, you know, as I'm carrying a broom and a fly swatter and a bottled water. What the heck is that going to do? But anyway, so yeah, he just stayed where he was and the cat came in and it was all good. So you would not believe the size of our squirrels. We're talking when I first saw a squirrel, he hopped off the chestnut tree. Well, hello. Nut trees all over the place. They're huge. This thing looked like a puppy. I thought it was a puppy. I'm like, why is that puppy jumping from branch to branch? Now he's on our roof, not like a little pitter patter of a squirrel, like boom, boom, boom. You can almost hear him wag his tail. It's really crazy. But so, yeah, they eat well around here. They don't need me for my sunflower seeds. So, anyways, it's a beautiful day. The pool is beautiful. It is also frigid, freezing cold. Don't think I'm not tempted to go get a whole bunch of pans of really hot water and put them in the pool. But I'm not going to because I know that the owner of the house would be very angry. So, again, we have a new pool boy. You want to see the pool boy? No. Okay. He's a little embarrassed, so I want a California pool boy. I hear they're willing to do. You're not going to like how many leaves just fell in the pool. Also, the nut trees shed leaves, and we have fall here. This is northern Florida, so I mean, I bet there's southern Floridans who don't even think this is legitimately Florida. Like, oh man, if you didn't have a pool in the backyard, we're just going to call you Georgia. So, but yeah, at least it's really nice. It's got to be 71 right now. And then, like, I'm hoping on my birthday that I get to do more than just sit here crying about how I'm not in the pool and I'm not at the beach. and not at, Universal Studios and the casino. And with my grandkids, that would be cool. Holding the babies, holding them while they're still babies. Hi, Lexi. Hi, Ava. Hi, Aria. Hi, Riley. Hi, Caleb. Oh, God, did I forget one? Oh, I'm going to be in so much trouble if I did. 1, 2. Oh, my gosh, I'm so old. Love you all. Love you all. I'm going to do a children's story later. Oh, there's the pool guy. No matter what I do, he's just going to wear clothes every time he cleans the pool. It's very disappointing. All right, everyone. Talk to you later.